So a Mexican military vessel just came by to let us know that this is now a no anchoring zone where we are at.
Hi everyone, welcome to episode 172 of Cruising Sea Venture. In this episode, we get an up-close and personal view of the Paz Waltz and then cruise our way to Bahia Balandra. We're starting to get into the beautiful islands of the Sea of Cortez. But for now, if you like this episode, please subscribe. I want to thank you very much for watching, and please leave comments. We love to hear from you, and yeah, hope you enjoy the show. Good morning. We are in La Paz one more day. I got sick yesterday, and so we decided to just wait one more day before we departed. And as a result, we got to experience the La Paz Waltz. This is the view from our new anchorage.
Good morning, everybody. We're a little further away from the marina now. We were anchored over this way next to our friend's Fern. If you saw in the earlier video, we anchored and stayed according to the rangefinder, I think right about 50 yards or 150 feet from them for 4 days. That worked out great. About 7 o'clock last night, the wind kicked up to 10 knots or so, not too much, but from a new direction. And somehow in combination with the 2 or 3 knot current that's always coming through here, Fern went one way and we went another. And so, you know, our 50 yards turned into 10 yards that turned into 5 yards that turned into our bowsprit, almost taking out their Starlink. We literally started to cross over. And they were gone to dinner at the time, and so I let out some more anchor chain at the time. Rosie and I did, which so we weren't next to each other. Now we were behind them and actually starting to almost switch spots, which I really didn't want to do. So we paid a lot of attention for a while till they came back from dinner, because I was concerned about trying to pull up the anchor at the time because I was afraid it would pull us into where Fern was anchored. So we waited for them to get back and sat about 15 feet apart for that time. And just in case, we kept our engines, the engines running and idle. But they got back, we drifted off a little bit, and we took that opportunity. They never had to actually move their boat. We took that opportunity and pulled up anchor in the dark and moved over here a little further away from town, but there was kind of a big open spot where further away from any other boats. So it was just that interesting time of that waltz. Fern was pointed one direction, and normally you would think pointed into the wind, but the wind was blowing over their stern.
So we were just in front of the sailboat that's over here, between the sailboat and the green buoy.
And the green buoy. Fern was pointed with the stern into the wind because of the current, and their chain running back under their boat. Very odd. And we were anchored with our stern also pointed into the wind because of the current, but our chain going off at a right angle to port, which pushed us over toward them and them over toward us. So I suppose that is the waltz. And sorry we didn't film any of it. One, it was dark, and two, yeah, we were busy. Wanted to make sure we never touched them, and we did not. So we're in a new anchorage, but it is actually time to go. We just stalled today because Rosie wasn't feeling well, but we've got a long cruise to right over there. I think we can see our anchorage from here.
Maybe.
But it's an hour and a half or so, something like that. I don't know. We're not even positive where we're going. But in a little bit, we're going to fire up the engines, and we've completed our great tour of La Paz. Again, like I said in the last video, one of our favorite places. We've eaten ourselves well. We've reprovisioned. We're ready to go explore and spend some time away from the nightclub scene. I mean, it's fun for a few nights to have the, you know, rock and roll music all night long. Not all night. It runs till about 3 in the morning. That, you know, loud enough you could definitely dance inside your boat to the music. But it's time to go back and anchor in the islands somewhere. So let's go do that. So here's our time 0. You can see our tracks. This is when we cruised into La Paz. This is our anchor where we have been the last 4 days and did the waltz there. And we never did leave our anchor circle through all that. This is us fooling around after we raised the anchor last night, figuring out whether we could re-anchor here. But we were being pulled so far hard over this way that to anchor over here where we weren't getting too close to Fern again, if we'd swung the other way, we'd have been in the channel. So we bailed on that in the dark and cruised up to here where we are now. And you can see overnight, you can see overnight we used our entire anchor circle. We happen to be right in the middle of it right now. But when the current switched around and the wind died off, we came back to the middle. But we still moved around quite a bit within our anchor circle, more so than you normally would. So that's where we are. The closest boat is actually over here, quite a ways away. But now we're going to get ready and get going and figure out where we're even going.
All right, I wanted to show you this current here, and it is just hauling, and that is how it's been the entire time. And so, at any rate, here's a piece of bread, so take a look. Look how quickly that flows. We have constantly been worried about a cat falling overboard because they would just be swept away.
There's about 3 knots of current sitting here. Let's go look at the anchor bridle. So here we are with the anchor bridle, nice and tight. This is in no wind. And if I show you the front of the boat and the bulbous bow, maybe you can see the water flowing over. So that's the current just sitting here with no wind in La Paz.
Just getting started, about 1,000 RPM, heading out the channel. Kind of following our old course as we came in. Here's our old course, and here we are. And take a look at our speed, 1,000 RPM. That's how much fun current we have here. At least 2 knots. It says up to 4.5 on the charts. Should we throttle back or pass it? We're working our way out of the channel. There's the ship over there that will be going by shortly. And some ships out here at anchor. We're getting ready to make the dog leg here at the end of the channel and go by that old ship that we talked about, or we mentioned in the earlier video when we entered La Paz. And you can see this boat just passed by us that's going on ahead of us. Now keeping the red buoys to our port side. This is the Costa Baja Marina at the far end of town. And we are leaving La Paz.
We're cruising along. Rosie had me throttle up to 1,420 RPM, putting us at 7 knots. Because we still have an outgoing tide, lots of yachts going to and from La Paz. We figured out our destination is Bahia Balandra here on the peninsula before Espiritu Santo. It is 48 minutes away to our anchorage, and we left about 48 minutes ago from La Paz. So that's the cruise for today, where we'll spend a couple nights. We did figure out, let's turn the radio down a little bit for a second. We did figure out that we want
to show the boats, but I wasn't getting.
Yeah, they're a long ways away.
Okay.
We want to be in Loreto by May 1st, so we have a month to cruise in that area before our marina reservations begin in June. And Loreto is 110 nautical miles from where we are today, or 16 hours worth of cruising is what we need to do northbound in the next 40 days. So that's the plan, to spend 40 days to cruise 16 hours. Somebody's got to do it.
We get them. We are approaching Puerto Balandra. Getting ready to drop the anchor here. Look at this bay. Wow. All right, the anchor's going out. We are in 10 feet of water, actually 16 because of our offset, but even seeing the 10 under the hull is a little nerve-wracking for us northern water folk who like shallow, who like deep stuff or are used to deep stuff.
It's a little breezy up here, so pardon the wind, but that's part of the keeping us cool, right? Here we are in Balandra Bay, anchored. Not too far from shore over here. A bunch of sailboats behind us. One mega yacht pulled in a little bit ago. It's hard to see, it's a little ways away, it's a 100-footer. And a bunch of boats over there. So we're gonna enjoy a couple nights here. You'll get to see us hopefully snorkeling and exploring Balandra Bay. Too far away for you to see, but I see lots of people on the beach because you can drive here from La Paz. So it's a very popular tourist destination. In the meantime, up here on the upper deck this afternoon, we got some of the shrimp that we bought yesterday at the fish market. If you didn't see that in the La Paz video, that was fun to watch the guy clean them, butterfly them all out. They're all seasoned except for one because Barkley really likes shrimp. So Barkley gets an marinated shrimp. So here we are in Balandra. Getting ready to have our lunch with some rice, coleslaw, salad, the appropriate beverage. Right?
Exactly.
All right, I don't know if it's a late lunch or an early dinner. That might be a topic of discussion for Rosie and I later. But here's our butterfly shrimp over rice with homemade coleslaw and salad.
Our fun little shrimp that we had our guy clean and whatever for us.
And here's Barkley's.
Barkley is a shrimp fiend, and so we set aside one for him.
Yep.
All right.
Bon appetit.
Eat. Well, didn't think I'd be doing a nighttime update, but holy smokes, I clearly must have misread the forecast because I did not expect the winds to be what they are tonight. I thought it was going to be maybe upwards of 10 or 12 knots, but take a look, it's been a little wild. We are sitting at a 15-minute average, 12 and 10 right now. Okay, of course it's settled down. But we are not moving our anchor circle at all. We're staying right in the same spot, right on the edge. And the rest of the boats around us in the anchorage are, well, doing the same thing. So I guess it is what it is, but man, I was not expecting this one tonight. It's what, midnight? Yeah. We're having some good gusts. May that hold. Well, it's another sunny morning today after a really breezy night last night. But we have a lovely view from the porch today. There's a ferry going by. Check that out. Haven't seen those yet. And a few more boats in the anchorage over here. We spent a little bit of time with the folks on, I think it's Blue Pearl, that sailboat over there last night.
Pearl.
Yeah, Blue Pearl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful folks. Have a YouTube channel as well. We'll link it below in the video and in the video description. And boy, we just had a great time getting to know them and learning about their story and their boat. And we kind of missed the sunset. I was hoping to film it for you guys. Sorry about that. We got carried away. This morning is, well, it's kind of a paperwork kind of day. We're still running a little slow. I'm getting over my cold. I think Jim's got it now. Got a load of laundry started down below. Jim is working on paperwork because sometimes those things just don't quit and you have to keep, taking care of business. So.
Sure.
But talk about doing it in a pretty cool place, huh?
Yeah. Had the shades on the back of me closed so the sun doesn't drive right in, trying to
keep
minimize.
The boat cool. Yeah.
Cool. You showed the Baja Ferry?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool looking. We haven't seen that ship.
Nope. Anyway, back to work. I just thought I'd take a short break and say, look, we really are doing something. But, yeah, there you go.
So a Mexican military vessel just came by to let us know that this is now a no anchoring zone where we are at, and gave us a little chart. And so they asked us to please move.
So we made our 300-foot move to the other side of the boat next to us, and now we're okay. Go figure. But you want to keep them happy. Don't want to break any rules.
After being visited by the Navy, I found this online to supplement what they had on paper. We were anchored right off the point right there, so we had to move from right there to right there. And then this is a 5 mile per hour zone in your tender, but anchoring is this outside this line right here. So this is the no anchoring zone. We were just inside the line, so we're happy to move. They were really friendly, nice, all smiles. They were great, but we just picked up and made the really short 300-foot move, and we were good. Looking at our live view from our Garmin inReach, it's this point to this point you have to anchor behind, and they thought we were inside of that, which is fine, so we moved to right here. This is from our Garmin homepage. Where in the world is Sea Venture right now, from our website.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Cruising Sea Venture. Join us next time as we explore beautiful Bahia Balandra. And until then, wishing you no wind and flat seas. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.